So when you don't set your parking brake at the gas station, you roll down the hill and over the other side. Not recommended. So winter's here, the roads are getting icy, and from our house into town is about a 20-minute drive on a road that is just a sheet of ice every morning and every evening. You know, like the times that we would be traveling on it, of course. It's not so bad that you want tire chains, but a little more help than what your standard tire would do would be nice. These are Milestar Patagonias on my wife's Jeep. Awesome tire, silent on the highway, do amazing off-road, but they don't have a lot of the siping that like a dedicated snow and ice tire would have. So to help them out with their grip, I ordered some of these little guys. They're called grip studs, and they are basically like a tire stud on the top. Whoops, there goes that one. But they have this little auger on the bottom. It's not like a screw, it's an auger to hold into the tread of the tire. And instead of just being a carbide tip at the end, that carbide shank runs down all the way into this, so it shouldn't fall out. So I'm going to install these in my wife's tires, and if it doesn't screw anything up, then I'll go ahead and put them in my tires too. See, it has these notches. I can do this upside down one-handed while staring at a camera. Come on, they go right in there. Screw it into the tire, but they'll also go right back in and screw it back out when you're done. So unlike a set of studded tires where they are just studded tires from now on, well, you can pluck studs out. It's a nightmare to do. So these you put right in, take right out, and the next year put them right back in. Okay, I'm figuring the hardest part about this whole deal is going to be coming up with a pattern that actually works and make sure I have enough to do all four on this plus all four on my truck. So I'm going to put them in the center and on the outside edge. I'm not going to do the inside edge because the center will give your straight line stopping power along with the outside edge, but any corner or if you start to slide or anything like that, all the load on the tire is going to be on the outside, and that's where you're going to want all your grip, not on the inside. So I'm not even going to worry about these inside treads. I'm just going to do the centers and the outsides. Okay, first one, let's hope for the best. Well, that goes right in there. Get it nice and flush with the tire, and I think that's it. So let's go all the way around one in each of these outside-ish lugs. Well, that's nice. Let's see how they come out actually, since we're here doing this. Oh, come right back out, and you would never notice there's anything in the tire. And right back in. Ooh, this is going to be so handy. Way faster than drilling and studding tires too. Okay, so I found a pattern here that's going to end up with 240 studs on this whole vehicle, which is perfect because I got 300 for this Jeep and 300 for my truck. All right, and now that we got all of these ones in this corner on here, we're going to take our Harbor Freight jack. No, Harbor Freight doesn't sponsor me. And we're going to use our 911 Motorsports jack extension. No, they don't sponsor me either. And then we're going to lift this up so that we can turn it a little bit. Drop this back down. And then grab a few more grip studs. No, they don't sponsor me either. I'm not nearly cool enough for anyone to sponsor just yet. I bought these with my own real piggy bank money. And it's a local Oregon company, and they seem to be the highest quality, so that's what I'm going with. It is 22 degrees in this shop right now, so I am going to put some earplugs in because I'm going to turn on the turbo heater that Grumpy gave me. Blast some heat right at me here. Try to warm up a little bit. It's cold. All right, turn this off. Love that thing. It's loud, but works amazing. So, I got the first tire done. See, we've got every outside lug and then every other inside lug. Like I said, I think when I'm done with this one and my truck, I'll have enough to go back and do one in every center lug. Not going to do the inside lugs because all your main force as you're turning and moving, especially if you get into a slide, is on the outside edge. So these are your straight down the road ones, and these are going around corner and sliding ones. So don't have to worry about this side. So all right, that's one done. And now only got 7 more to do. All right, got the wife's Jeep done. All 4 tires you can see. So we're gonna pull it out, pull my pickup in, and get started on that one. All right, I got the first tire done on my truck. As you can hear, I don't have the heater on anymore. So you can see, I don't have my jacket on anymore either. After doing 5 of these, I'm not cold anymore. So on this one, I had to do it a little different, significantly harder on my tires. Not because the rubber is harder to get them in, anything like that. It's because my tires have this very heavy siping to be a much more ice rated tire than what's on my wife's Jeep, which is more of an off-road tire. As you can see, these big auger threads on there are nearly as big as the individual little tread blocks of these tires. So I couldn't go outside like normal and then do the inside line kind of like I was doing on the other ones, because as you can see, these are so close to the same size that these were wanting to kind of spit out either side of the tread block. On these side ones, there's one block at the top and bottom that's actually bigger diameter, and these actually have some room to get into them. So I did every single one on the outside and every other one on the inside. I'd like to do it the same way I did on my wife's, where it's the outside and the center, but in reality, these tires have such a flat profile and this truck is so heavy pushing down on them that being on the sides and nothing in the center, these side ones are still going to get plenty of bite down in there. So only 3 more tires to go. I did get a call. We've got an accident recovery call to go do down in Lapine. So I'm going to get the rest of these wrapped up, see what time it ends up being. Riley's got gymnastics this afternoon, and I don't want to miss that. So this recovery, I'll probably have to wait till tomorrow morning, which is fine. There'll be less traffic then anyway. So I'm going to get back to this, and I'll see you when I'm done. And before anyone starts with the, oh, you shouldn't be a tow truck driver leaving people stranded in the ditch. When the phone rings, you go right now and blah, blah, blah. No, we're not doing that. No one's stranded in the ditch. The guy is already back in town. His car's been there for a whole day already anyway. He's on his way back to Portland. It's not hurting anything where it is. It's off the road. It's fine. It can wait. All right. We have tore some stuff up in the shop since I last saw you. It is much later tonight, as you can see. Very dark outside. We got back from gymnastics. Drove the Jeep with the grip studs on it and worked totally fine. I stopped filming and just started working like crazy because I was trying to get this project done before I had to go, but I didn't get it done. So now we're back. I'm going to work late in the shop tonight and get this done because I need it tomorrow for that recovery job. I mean, I don't need it, but it would be nice. So here is what we're building. This is the winch mount setup for the back of the truck that I had mentioned in a previous video at some point. This main base here is a kit I bought to put a rail style fifth wheel in the Ram puck style frame, and I could have totally built this, but for the price to just buy it, not have to figure out the spacing, and then have all the cam lock setups already here, way worth it. So I added this on here. We got a receiver. Our receiver mount winch will slide right into it. We extend it off this end here. This will come right inside of the back doors and fit between those 2 toolboxes. One of them's over there right now just to make this easy to slide in and out. And then our winch fair lead is going to mount right here. I got to build some bracing off of these just to help stiffen everything up, hold it in place. And that's going to sit right there. So winch line's going to come up from here through the fair lead, and then I'll be able to pull whatever direction I want out of the back of the truck. So I think all I got to do is just add some stiffener pieces on this just to help it out a little bit, and then throw some paint on it, and then figure out how to get this stupid heavy thing back in there without blowing out my hernia. So that's the plan. Okay, we cut our chunks out on the bandsaw. Went over there, grabbed the cutoff wheel and shaped them up like this here. And this is so that one of them will go right there. And the other one will go right there. And this is 3/8 material, so that should be more than enough to hold the stress that fairlead's going to put on it. And here's a tip: if you've got a weld that you need to butt something square up against to, instead of grinding out this weld and grinding most of your holding material away, notch the corner that's going to butt into it, and you can fit it up nice and flush, and then you can fill that little gap it makes with weld, and then all your weld in your main joint gets to stay, everything fits up nice and tight, and you're good to go. So I'm going to fire the welder back up. That's a bandsaw over there, isn't it? I'm going to fire the welder back up and then make this permanent and see how it works. Oh, I totally screwed up. Damn it! So I totally screwed up. I was supposed to skip a section of weld right here because that bolt hole is right next to that plate, and if the weld goes through there, I'm not going to have enough room to put the nut on. I thought it was on this side that I had to do that, but it was actually on this side. And it's so freaking cold in here that my hood is fogging up as I weld, so I can't see anything. And as I was doing my weld, I noticed a hole right next to my weld, and I realized I was done. So now I might have to get the plasma cutter or Dremel or something to see if I can eat some of that weld back out of there and open it up so that the nut will fit on that bolt hole. Stupid. Also, I'm using a dual shield wire to weld this, so we have to use the gas, and there's a flux inside the core of the wire, so you have to chip off the slag like it was a stick weld. That was a nice weld. Too bad I gotta cut it out of there. So dual shield is ugly, it spatters, it leaves this nasty powder all over everything, but it is super strong. Okay, I tacked this corner pretty good with a grinder, and I also ground down one flat on the washer. And now or this isn't a washer, this is a nut. I ground down a flat on the nut. Washers don't have flats. But now it fits right in there, the bolt goes in, we're good. And the whole time I was doing that, I was thinking, how in the heck did I screw that up? I knew that the right side was the side I could weld all the way through. Looking at it, couldn't figure it out. Then I realized, when I stood this whole thing up, I flipped it around and leaned it against that pole so I could get a better angle at all these welds. And when I flipped it around, I still welded all the way through the right side, which was now the left side, which is the side I couldn't weld all the way through. But it's okay, we fixed it, it all works. That's what grinders are for. So I'm gonna throw some paint on this and then hope that fairlead fits, and then put it all back in the truck somehow. Okay, bad idea. That paint's still wet. Lay this down. Woo. Then put your legs, not with your guts. This is part of the video where I'm gonna be a lot of trouble when my wife sees it. You gonna stay? Okay, stay. Okay. I got a plan. Don't drop it. Hey, look at that. Over there. Did I take the winch all the way out? No, there's totally room back here. Stop. Go back. Let go. Okay. Close that cam lock. Okay. That was probably not the smartest thing I've ever done, but it's done. Well, not done. The winch part is done. I still got to build the dolly tray that slides in and out of here. I could just throw the dollies in for now. But got the fairlead here. You can see I mounted the fairlead upside down because that actually raised it another inch over if I would have mounted it right side up. And I think that inch is going to come into play when I'm doing a steep down over the bank recovery angle. So a little bit will help, but now this here I can pull off to the side here, I can pull way over here, I can pull up here, pull a vehicle straight up to me, winch myself out of somewhere, but the most common is going to be like this from down in the ditch, which is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And the line goes straight back in the winch. To free spool and lock the winch, I can just reach right here. It's just clamp cabled onto the whatever pump thing right now, because I'll build a new quick connect for that later. I'm tired. But then I can winch it right in. Now we're talking. And this goes right through here, since I don't have an end on it. And I can pull the pin, pull that winch out, put it in the front of the truck, put it on a trailer, put it on a Jeep, put it anywhere. I can move it around all I want. And then even once the dolly tray's in there, if I want to use this as my normal pickup, go on a family trip, something like that, undo those 4 cam locks, lift that thing right out of there, slide it out the back. I do have to remove that toolbox. Where that toolbox slides out, then the whole thing comes out. And it's back to a normal empty pickup bed. So, it's late. I'm tired. I'm not so cold anymore. I'm going inside, gonna get something to eat, and go to bed. So, I don't know where to put this. So, that is the end of this one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.